What's going on, everyone, and welcome back to Reality Pill. Today we are going to react to another Kevin Samuels video. Before we get into it, make sure you guys like and subscribe.
Bree, unmute yourself, please. Hello.
Hi, Mr. Samuels.
How are you?
I'm great. First and foremost, I am 26. I'm in the danger zone.
Not yet. You're 1 year from it. You're 1 year from it. But go ahead.
Well, I'll be 27 in September. So
might as well welcome.
and,
So, are you a black woman? Are you a black woman?
I am a black woman. I'm from Long Beach, California.
Do you want to get married?
Absolutely, absolutely. And I recently started going to therapy earlier this year, and it's been transformational for me. I feel that in general, Black women do want to be married. However, we do not have a good example of what a healthy, functional marriage looks like. When you look at the divorce statistics, yes.
Hold on. Let me ask you a couple of questions. You're 26. You'll be 27 in September.
Yes.
Did you go to college or not?
I'm currently in college.
Okay.
I'm studying marketing.
Okay. And were mom and dad, were they married?
Yes, my parents were married, but they were divorced when I was about 11 years old due to infidelity. My father was notoriously.
Do you have any siblings?
Yes.
Are they older or younger?
They're older. They're all boys. They're all men.
Are they married?
No.
Okay. And how tall are you?
I am 5'3".
Dress size?
A size 6 right now. I'm usually a 4, but kind of put on some quarantine pounds. But
okay.
You know what? I do agree that a lot of Black women do need the example of a successful and healthy marriage in order to properly prosper, right? But then on the other hand, it's a bit conflicting because I know personally a lot of Black women who grew up and has always had the idea of marriage in their mind. And the way they explained it, it was never this miserable thing. They were thinking about children. They were thinking about the white picket fence, a great neighborhood. They both driving a great car, and they had kids and a dog. It was the whole Disney thing. So while I hear what you're saying, in all reality, there was still that example, and it was of the mass that all had this perfect idea of it. No one, I think it's very few people that grew up with the mentality or the idea that marriage was just this terrible thing to get into. I don't believe that.
Okay.
Since I started watching your channel, I've actually been working out a lot more. You inspired me to start
good. You better. And if you had to rate yourself on a scale on just your face, scale from 1 to 10, you cannot use 7. Where would you be?
So that's a little tricky. Because I feel like I would normally rate myself a 7 or 8, but since I've started watching your channel, of course, I've heard about the infamous 7.
Give me the number, girl. You're talking too much. Give it to me.
I would say 8.
You'd say 8?
Yes.
All right. So if you're 26 in Long Beach, dress size 4, 6. What's the longest relationship you've ever had?
My longest relationship was about 2.5 years.
How long ago was that?
That was about 5 years ago.
What?
Yes.
So 21 years. So you're 26. So 5 years ago, you're 21. So you had a relationship from 18 to 19 to 21.
Yes.
Why haven't you had a man since then if you're that fine?
I definitely have. I've been in several.
But no. What I mean is, okay, you were in 19 and 21. That's a little bit too young for marriage. especially if you were in college. But living in
Right.
Long Beach, that's it's like Southern California, right?
Correct.
All right.
It's about 30 minutes from LA.
So if you're an attractive woman, and why haven't a guy asked you to marry him? Why do you think?
Um, I'm going to take full accountability on this one. I have, due to certain circumstances in my life, um, I have not been in a healthy mental space.
What do you mean certain
Yeah,
circumstances? See, when women start to say stuff like that, it smacks of entanglements.
and I get that. That makes a lot of sense.
No one
Well, I'll
sees
just
you. No one sees you. So why?
right. Um, I I come from a very very dysfunctional family,
Okay.
and I've internalized a lot of traumas
Which
from being
leads me
in.
back to the question where you say you don't see examples of strong or healthy families. And were you raised middle class?
No, absolutely not.
Were you raised poor?
Yes.
Okay. And then your parents divorced when you're 11.
Yeah.
Um, when did you decide to enroll in college?
Well, actually, Mr. Samuels, I recently re-enrolled in college earlier this year.
So what have you been doing since high? Okay. All right. Graduated at 18, right?
I graduated at 17.
17. But what
Yeah.
have you been doing, sweetheart?
Well, I started working at a nonprofit organization a few years back. I recently left that job because I realized that it was a dead end for me,
But a dead
and
end
I
because you had
realized
no skills. You were a high school graduate.
exactly, Mr. Samuels. And so I left the job in order to pursue school full time.
The
In
first
order
time.
to, no, not for the first time. I've been attending school on and off
Oh,
for a couple
let
of
me stop.
years.
Let me stop you right here.
Sure.
Bree,
Yes.
why are you wasting time going to get a useless marketing degree at your age?
Um, well, Mr. Samuels, I feel that my goal is not to work for someone else. My goal is to be in business for myself.
But
And
ma'am, young lady,
yes,
marketing is a useless degree. Useless. You
okay.
don't need it. It's an expense without a payoff. It sounds more like you don't really know what it is you want to do, but going to school sounds better than nothing. And I am going to do my best to dissuade you from going into debt because you're not being able to pay this on scholarship. You got to take out loans to do this, right?
That is correct.
Do not go into debt for a marketing degree.
That is true. We notice lots of the times where women will think that they don't have a clear direction to go in. And then this could be true. Let's take a page out of their book. They feel like they don't have a direction in which they're going in. And then what do they do? Put themselves right back into school. Put themselves right back into school. It never fails. When you should have done most of those things a bit earlier on in your life, you're deciding to do them now. When at this point you should be in what you're in already, making money and focusing on getting a family, finding a significant other, building something, building rapport, building a relationship, starting a family. There is a reason why we're here.
You don't need it. You say you want to go into business or you don't want to go work for somebody else, meaning you want to own your own business?
Absolutely. I would
In
love to
in
do.
what? Because they don't teach you how to do that in college with a marketing degree.
No, they do not. And I actually have experience operating a business. I gained that experience while I was working at the nonprofit.
Okay, so
And
this all started from trying to figure out at 26, if you're
yes,
an 8 and you're in good shape, you should have men knocking down your door. You should have opportunities with men. You just graduated from high school. You really don't have any real career. You don't really have any real skills that are really profitable. You sound just kind of all over the place. And I'm trying to help you get into a direction. First, going to college is the number one thing you should not be doing at your age. By the time you get out at 29 years old, you'll just have $60,000 worth of debt you can't pay off. Whatever you're going to do, if you have the skills, do it now. But it all started with you say you want to get married. And a lot of
right.
women's plans is a lot of women like yourself plan is as a husband.
Yeah, absolutely. And I,
Okay, so if that's your plan as a husband, then you better go after him with some real zeal and not go and don't come into it with $60,000 worth of debt that he needs to pay off. Let's talk about that. And that's why I asked you,
right.
what's the
Well,
longest
Mr.
relationship you had? You said 2.5 years. Why didn't, and that was when you were young. Why have you not had any longer relationships in the last, from 21 to now?
Well, because Mr. Samuels,
You can call
I
me
have
Kevin.
not
That's okay. You can call me Kevin.
uh, I'm kind of emotional right now. um, I have not attracted the right men into my life, and that's because I am not the woman that I know that I'm capable of being yet. And so when
What kind of
it's
guys that
not
what kind of guys have you used to been have you dated guys that have been good guys, decent guys, working guys?
working guys, yes, but very irresponsible men who greatly need therapy themselves.
First of all, I'm not buying this. She's crying like the damn Wayne brothers off of White Chicks when they were talking to that FBI agent or the guy, which is like, I'm so pissed. Yeah, that's that's exactly how she's crying right now. I'm so effing pissed. That's exactly who she's crying right. Listen, we're not falling for it. At the end of the day, instead of dating with the proper intentions, you decided to date what made you tingle. So you ran into those men. There are plenty suitable, good, decent, hardworking men that you could have chose from, but you didn't like them. That's not who you like. That's not what makes you tingle, right? The other guy does. The bad boy, the one that has the problems, the one that doesn't care about you. So saying all of this is just telling on yourself because again, you're choosing these men. And what does Kevin say all the time? You attract who you are.
Okay,
And
let's start with this. Are you dating guys that are attractive or are you dating guys from a character standpoint?
both.
No, it can't be both. One comes before the other.
Well, you're so right.
I
You're so right.
know. I do what I know what I'm talking about, young lady, and I'm starting to hone in on you. That's why you're getting emotional. You pick poorly.
Yes, I do.
All
I
right, but what are
absolutely
you picking? What are you picking? Because one, you're out here just working in Long Beach, and if you are what you say you are, you have a choice between there are plenty of men who approach you. Do you what is the first thing you look at when you deal with a man?
well, if I'm seeing him in person,
Yeah.
um, number one, I would look at the way that he carries himself.
How tall
Um,
does he have to be?
number, I let go of the 6 foot dream.
Exactly.
um,
So you go for the
so
jawline. So you go for the jawline. You're typical Southern California kind of chick. You go for the
no,
jawline. Hold on, hold
Samuel.
on, hold on, hold on. Listen, don't tell me no before you hear what I have to say. Because if you have plenty of men approaching you, I asked you, do you go for a good looking guy or a good character? You say both. That's not true. You don't cry about men who have good character. You cry about assholes. And if you have plenty of men coming at you, if you pick assholes, you can see. Do you pick the guy who's 5'9" or 5'10", who has a solid job and has mother and father and has good character if he's not the sexiest guy? Truthfully.
I tried that, Mr. Samuels.
And what
I did.
happened?
He was a very broken individual.
Then he
And
wasn't what I just said. No, ma'am, he wasn't what I just said. But I'll just put it there. I got to get to the next card. Ma'am, how long have you been in therapy?
well, I just started earlier this year.
How long have you been in therapy?
It's been 7 months now.
Consistently? How many times a month are you going?
No, it hasn't been consistently because it's a longer story, but I
No,
would
it's
like
really
for
not.
it
The
to be
truth is pretty damn short. You just tell me the
okay.
truth.
If you
Don't
don't
lie.
have time, you don't have time for me to, and people are, I'm not supposed to be reading the comments, but people
No,
are
you're
like,
not. And I don't understand. See, when you have somebody who can actually help you, you have a focus problem. That's number one. I ask you a direct question. How long have you been seeing a therapist?
it's been on and off for a few months,
You
but I'm
said since the
looking for
beginning of the year. Okay. Why off and on?
because Kevin, I left my full-time job. Um, I was
Because of
I was
money.
diagnosed. What's that?
Because of you don't have the money?
I do have the money, Kevin. It's a little bit difficult to find a therapist right now during COVID who accepts Medi-Cal because that's what I'm on right now. And one
Okay.
who can resonate with the Black. I'm looking for a therapist that can understand the Black experience
Okay, ma'am. Let me
and
explain
know
something to you. Let me explain something to you, ma'am. Let me explain something to you. You don't get to make those kind of choices in your position. This is triage. Resonating with the Black experience is something that people with money get to pick. You're broke. You deal with
I
whatever
have
you're on
a lot more
Medi-Cal, right?
money from an
You're on
individual.
Medi-Cal. You're on Medi-Cal, right?
Yes, because I'm unemployed.
Because
Yeah.
you're broke. You can call it unemployed. You're fucking broke. Own it. Medi-Cal is not what I ain't never seen no meta nothing. You're broke. So you don't get to sit back and say, well, I want to pick the right kind of therapist. You take whatever person you can get to work with your broke ass.
You're like, you're broke. Oh, man. He said, you have to take whatever type of therapist because you broke. Oh, my God.
Because the only way you're going to stop being broke and stop crying about shit is if you get your head on straight. See, I've asked you very simple, logical questions, and no one has ever just sat you down and taken you down a logical path. The tears, man, I've seen lots of tears. But the
The
fact of the
tears are
matter is, the
the tears
fact of the
are
matter is, man,
happening.
you're 26. You're not a little girl. You're a grown woman,
Right.
and you're all over the place. You're going to you're broke, but you're going to college. What's a broke person going to college for marketing for? It's not a broke. If you had to pay for it out of your pocket yourself, would you do it? No. Bad decisions, poor decisions. This is why you need to get in with a therapist. Forget trying to get the therapist the way you want it to in the Black experience. You don't get those luxuries. until you can pay full price. Because asking you questions about your life should not require such elongated answers. There's a lot going on here, man. But in the mirror is the biggest problem. You don't get the chance to just go on and off and on and off. No. Because really where we started with was you graduated from high school, you really haven't been doing anything, you had a job, but you got a job. You haven't had a relationship since 21. You're just floating out there and doing stuff. And if you're unemployed and on Medi-Cal, that's a hell of a place for a single woman to be. It needs to be fixed. And the fix is not a man.
I recognize that. I absolutely recognize that.
Get back into therapy next week.
That's the goal.
Thank you.
Thanks.
All right, guys, that's going to be the ending of the video. Make sure you guys like and subscribe, comment your thoughts and opinions down below. Let me know what you guys think. Make sure you guys turn on post notifications so you will be alerted when we upload more videos just like this one. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.